sitting at the dinner table one night, and she made a cornball comment and realized what she had done right away. And it blurted out of her mouth was, "Oh my God, I'm becoming Dad, shoot me now." Well, Megs, there's a time for corn, and a time for sincerity, and a time to speak from the heart. And from here on out, this will be a corn-free speech. When Lincoln was born, way back in January of '81, Claudia and I were on pins and needles, thankful that the Lord had given us a second chance to be parents. After Wendy had passed away, we wanted more than anything to have a child. We had so much love to share. Like Wendy, Megan was not perfect when she was born. She was born with club feet. And like Wendy, we spent more time than we would have liked at the Cleveland Clinic. It got to the point where the doctors and nurses were asking us for directions. But as you can all see, everything turned out just fine. Growing up, there were dance recitals, softball games, lacrosse matches. She loved hitting people with sticks. Parent-teacher conferences, homework arguments, just the normal growing up stuff that we all experience in raising children. And speaking of dance recitals, after you saw that wonderful dance out there, this kind of lends credence to this story. Every time she watches the show So You Think You Can Dance, she blames her mom for letting her quit dance when she was young, knowing that she could have been one of those contestants.
I still can't.
I support you.
Megs went through a lot of stressful situations growing up, thanks to my work situations. We moved 4 times before she got to high school. In grades 6, 7, 8, and 9, she attended 4 different schools. Imagine experiencing that scary first day of new school 4 years in a row. Then came high school and driving. I'm not completely familiar with her driving record since she's moved to Arizona, but back in high school, let's just say I was on a first-name basis with the guys at the body shop. After her high school graduation, Megs went off to the Ohio State University. With visions of medical school dancing in her head. However, after a very rough first quarter, and a professor telling her that she was chemistry challenged, she decided that medicine probably wasn't for her. But her desire to help people did not fade. For medicine, she switched her major to sociology.
You only needed a 2.2.
Did you make that? I'm sorry. It was during her sophomore year at OSU that Claudia and I sprung the news on her that we were moving to Arizona. This set all the wheels in motion that eventually led her to move out to Arizona, transfer to ASU, and become a teacher. But helping kids in the classroom wasn't enough for our daughter. In her spare time, she was involved in working with autistic children, something she had begun while at OSU. In Arizona, she devoted her time to one child in particular named Zach, and I think he was here tonight.
Yeah,
Claudia and I have always believed that raising a child is very basic. You provide love and guidance, and be there for them when they need you. And there's a good chance that they will turn out all right. We did our best, which is really all anyone can do, and are so proud of the wonderful woman our daughter has become. Megs, we are amazed by the things you do and the things that you have accomplished. You have truly become a better version of us. Well, change that. A much better version of us. I can't tell you how many times your mom and I have looked at each other, shook our heads, and simultaneously stated, "Whose kid is she?" Now, this marriage thing is quite a different story. Claudia and I at times wondered if it was ever going to happen. Megan was very picky at times, some might say unreasonable. She wouldn't date a guy if she didn't like his name. We finally realized that it was going to take someone really special to become her partner for life. We believe that Meg's even doubted herself sometimes. Then along came Matt. He obviously met all her stringent requirements, including the most important one that ruled out many a guy through her dating years. He had to be tall. But as soon as Claudia and I met Matt, the first time we saw them together, we knew he was the one. Megan, Matt, Claudia and I are so happy for the two of you as you begin this long journey into the unknown called marriage. Megs, the real pressure is on now. Many of our friends and family have set the tone for you. Mom and I have been married 43 years. Your Uncle Jim and Aunt Sandy have been married for 30 years. Your Uncle Jack and Aunt Jackie have been married for 20 years. Your godparents, Uncle Frank and Aunt Patty, 44 years. Your Uncle Art and Aunt Rita, God rest her soul, would have been married 45 years. Both your grandmas and grandpas were married for over 35 years when your grandpas passed away, and I have no doubt they would still have been married today. Matt's parents can now be added to the list as they have been married for 40 years. What I'm trying to say to you is you have a family tradition to uphold. Commitment. The vows you take are not just words that you speak. They are words and thoughts and actions that are tattooed directly on your heart and become your life. It isn't always easy, but success lies in your willingness to love your husband or wife so unconditionally that their happiness becomes the most important thing in your life. This is what I have seen in all the marriages I mentioned before, and it is in the beginning stages of what I see in you and Matt. We may not be around 40 years from now to celebrate your 40th anniversary, but who knows? The great philosopher Billy Joel tells us only the good die young. All we can hope is that at your 40-year celebration, you'll raise a glass in our memory. And speaking of raising a glass, here's a toast to Meg and Mac. May they carry out the family tradition. And I'll pass the mic to the other.
How about another round of applause? That was amazing. Now, these guys picked two best men and two amazing women. Matrons. I'm sorry. So you gotta sit through 4 of these. So don't worry, much like later tonight, this is not gonna take very long. Some people are lucky enough to find their one true, their soulmates, the person they know and they're going to love the rest of their lives. And that happened for Matty P. About 13 years ago. He met me and Jeff. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Matt Darty. Me and Matt, Jeff, all these guys were in fraternity together at NEU. And it was the best times of our lives. Well, until today. Now, two best men, it has me wondering, really the best man? Or he knows we're going to mess up enough that he needs a backup. Luckily, I get to go first.
I love you both equally.
So first things first, I wanted to say and recognize how amazing Megan's parents are for raising such a beautiful, amazing daughter. And Maddie P's parents for doing the best you could with this.